All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the party. Hey, y'all, look. First year anniversary, 1 year in the books for the crypto. Dr. Chef's crypto. Well, okay, to be exact, I started working on crypto about a year ago, and I've been studying hard the whole time, but I didn't really make videos till I had trained for quite a few months. I think those first videos were April, May, and then really in the summers when it kicked in last year. So, we're going to take a look at the last year, and I just want to thank you all. So, hey, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for paying attention to any of this at all. Trying to help people, trying to teach them about crypto. The first celebration for the anniversary is the fact that I say this every single video. I don't know how many videos we got now, 60, 70, I don't know, but I am Dr. Chef, and this is Dr. Chef's Crypto. This is our 1 year anniversary program, and I am not an official financial advisor. You did not pay me money to give you official financial advice. If you did, then I would know. So please do not misconstrue any of this as official financial advice, even though we're not going to be talking about a lot of that. There will be a whole bunch of things like that. This is just education. Really, I'm an educator. I'm a lifelong educator. I taught my first class in 1990. So I've been teaching over 30 years, a variety of subjects. And so this is sort of a natural born thing. I've been very blessed. You guys now, after a year, know a lot about me. And I want to thank God for blessing me with all the wonderful crypto stuff, as well as my life and my family and everything else. So a lot of businesses and a lot of success, and I am very, very grateful. So let's talk about this first year anniversary concept. Let's talk about what we're going to do. I'm just going to recap the year. What did I learn? How did I go about things? It has been a very long journey. I'll give you just one quick example. There have been, most people encounter one blockchain in their adventures. They go to one or two major sites, and that's the majority of crypto. I think that I've been working now on some more than 5 different blockchains. You've got Bitcoin, of course, and Ethereum as the #1 blockchain to build on. Cardano, but then Binance and Avalanche. Polygon, if you can, it's a subsidiary, but it does really count on as its own blockchain. So really, 6 or 7 different blockchains, and the interconnectivity between them, it's quite complicated out there. So anyway, welcome to the anniversary party. Cheers. Thank you so much. I do this to help people. I'm hoping that it helps some people. I'm hoping that they get some information, and I hope that you will share this site, like and subscribe and all that, and get the word out. This is very good. We have a lot of basic information. So let's recap the year. It all starts with me thinking about crypto. My son had asked me a question about it, if I thought it was legit or not, and I really didn't know. I thought maybe it was a little dicey, but I was not sure, so I thought I would get some deeper information. That first day, it sucked me in. I must have spent, 8 hours the first day. After that, it was on. It was daily. It was multiple hours a day. And it was really just a new adventure for me. I'd love to learn. I would say as much as I love teaching, I love learning even more. I am a great fan of learning, whether it's history. So I'm that guy, that geeky guy that sits there watching the educational programs, learning about ancient Rome or whatever it is. So anyway, having said all that, I fell in love. This was an entirely new area, an entirely complicated and interesting unknown area, and I just dove headfirst in. I would say 40, 50 hours a week the first couple months, and I learned so much so fast that eventually it was time to start trying to share that knowledge. A few months later is when we first started experimenting with the videos, and of course they've been improving as we go. But the first thing I learned was to get reliable sources of training. This is a reliable source of training. I do my research and I try my best to help you understand what's going on. But there are some wonderful, wonderful people out there. I think I gave credit to Crypto KC originally and a bunch of other people, Coin Bureau, things like that. There's a lot of research materials. You can also go into the programs themselves, like CoinMarketCap or Coinbase, and you can learn within those programs. So that was fun. It was exciting. Now, having said that, I really just sort of kept growing and kept learning, and the plan was to start sharing that. So I made the first videos, and the first videos were really in-depth and basic training. And then I made some more advanced videos, and then months went by and we made more advanced videos, and there were 30 or 40 videos, and then a friend of mine said, hey, you need to make some quick ones. People don't have time for 30 minutes, 45 minutes all the time. So I said sure, and we started working on the Crypto Snacks series. I think we're in the mid-30s on the videos for the Crypto Snacks series. So that's quite a few, and it really is quick. The reason I keep them at 5 minutes is you should be able to attach those easily or send those to friends easily or share them easily. And they're all the different subjects. So if you have someone you're trying to explain crypto to, this is a great way to do it. Very quick, very easy. Pull it up on your phone, hand your phone to them, bang, bang, bang. 5 minutes later, they understand some type of concept. So, right off the bat, roughly a year ago, we were beginning to look into crypto, and we're going to think about investing in some things. And we started off really slow. So what happened was, I just started off with a few $100s, and then it worked out. So I said, okay, and I put a few hundred more, and then a few thousand, and it kept growing from there. Rule number one that I've talked about forever is don't risk anything you can't afford to lose. And I haven't risked anything I could not afford to lose. I've been very blessed in that, and I've continued to add to it because of the earnings that have come through crypto. So that's been very helpful and very successful, and we'll talk about that in detail in a minute. But security was my first stop, and I have to credit Crypto Casey really for that, because her entire intro video, the very beginning of all of it, is just all about security. And I heard that right off the bat, and it was extremely helpful. Security is mission number one. Let me tell you a couple things about this year that aren't so good. I have lost twice. Now, not a lot, not any major destruction of any kind, but let me just tell you, when we talk about security, when we talk about being careful, it's no joke. If you enter the number that you're trying to go to, or do the wrong wallet address, and it's a very complicated thing, you can lose your funds. It was only a small amount, but I was copying and pasting, and when you copy and paste, sometimes you get extra letters in there, or you miss one, or you hit a button incorrectly, and I was one letter off, and it was not a lot. It was just a little bit for fees. It was actually a little bit of money I was moving for fees. So I was moving kind of quickly, but I lost those things, disappeared forever. It was not a lot of money, but it disappeared forever because of one little digit. I was also scammed at one point. Also not a lot of money, but it was more than the fees. But what happened was a fake site, which looked almost exactly like the real site, came up, and in a hurry I had gone on there and I had filled in some information from a private key for one wallet. Now I have several different wallets. This was not my main wallet or even my second or third wallet, but it was enough to get jacked. This was a wallet where I had some alt stuff dealing with the metaverse, and I lost it. The guy stole it immediately. You cannot trace it. That's the whole point of crypto. It is decentralized. It is numbers. It is not people. It is not addresses. It's numbers. If you do it right, it's extremely quick and easy, and it's very helpful to the world. If you do it wrong, poof, there goes your funds. Now, in a whole year and being new to this for the first part of that year, I would say 2 mistakes that cost me just a little bit would probably not be the end of the world. Could have been a lot worse. But because of security protocols, it has been very successful. So let's talk about the biggest successes of the year. Now, I have purchased things throughout this year that I'm still holding. There's some things that I am not getting rid of. For instance, my primary holding is Ethereum. I am hodling Ethereum in a pretty good amount. Now, I got Ethereum for about $1,800 and it went up to about 48. That's a 2.6x. I would say that if I cashed out when I wanted, I would have made between 2 and 3x on Ethereum. That's not what I want. I want more like a 10x on Ethereum. I love Ethereum, so I want to support Ethereum, and I'm holding on for dear life, hodling the Ethereum. So I did not sell the Ethereum. So let's talk about things that I did sell and profits that I did make. Well, I would say my biggest play of the year was Polygon. So this, don't laugh too hard, but I bought Polygon originally at the very beginning. Back in March, I bought Polygon. Really, end of March, early April is when I got my first real purchase. I studied it for about a month, and then I started doing purchases. Well, I bought Polygon originally because I thought it said Paragon. My culinary school is called Paragon. And that's kind of funny, but then I noticed what it was, and I studied it. I looked at the white papers and all the other information, and I decided I liked it, and I put a pretty good amount into Polygon. Actually had a small mistake that was a good mistake where I had purchased it, and sometimes when you do a purchase transaction, there's a pause, especially on the Ethereum network. I had hit it twice. I put it through twice. So I doubled down on a Polygon. So I got Polygon originally as an error, then I doubled down on it, and then the double down got quadrupled because I did a double transaction. So anyway, all that to say that I got Polygon for 39 and 40 cents and sold it at the new year. So at the beginning of the new year, just to celebrate this long-term journey in the world of crypto, having a blast, wanting to cash out some earnings. You want to cash out along the way. As your things are going up and going down, you want to buy in chunks, you want to sell in chunks. So I decided Polygon would be what I would sell off, and I sold Polygon for $240. So I bought it for $39.40, sold it for $240. That's a 6.15x. I got 615% return on my investment in Polygon, and that's real life, real money. So that was probably because not the amount itself, I made more percentage off of Doge, but I definitely had more money in Polygon. Dogecoin was a lark, right? And I found out about it pretty early on. I found out about it from some YWAM friends, and they were holding off, waiting for the price to drop more. But I went ahead and got it in late March, early April for about 0.05. And I held on to it for a while. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to carry through. Now, it might still carry through. It also might drop a lot, go back up. I'm not worried about it, but Doge was another thing that I sold. I sold Doge on May 13th for 55 cents. So that was an 11x, 1,100% return on my Doge investment. Now, as you might imagine, that was a pretty substantial amount of gains. 1,100% return, 11x. So that meant I had plenty of money to reinvest in other things. I have not cashed out much. I've been hodling a lot. I did cash out the Litecoin. So I bought Litecoin for 131 and sold it roughly a year later, give or take, for 278. So I made about a 2x, little over 2x on the Litecoin. So, things that I did not sell that I could have made a bunch of money in, knew when to do it and could have done it, but didn't do it. Shiba is number one. So Shiba Inu, I got a very large amount of for a lark with a friend. It's kind of a bet. We're both restaurateurs, and we're going to see when we can cash out and get our restaurants. And then a couple other student friends of mine also began talking about sheep, so we had fun with sheep. I got sheep with 5 zeros. Okay, 0.000005. I got sheep with 5 zeros, 5. Okay. Now, 4 zeros 8 is the height of sheep, which is a 16x. I saw that 16x, 1,600%. I did not sell. I'm still holding the sheep. I think the sheep is going to drop another 0 before it's over. I think that it may be 2024 before this happens, 2025, but I believe that sheep will go up to probably 0.003 zeros. And if I go from 5 zeros to 3 zeros, it'll be 100x, and that's my plan for sheep, is to 100x it. That's a lot. 100x, as you know, is 10,000%. So I have not 100x'd the sheep yet. I 16x'd it, but I did not sell it. So, the ETH I 2.6x'd, but I did not sell it. So, the summary of the year, if you take all of the investments from all the different levels, from the highest, from the Bitcoin, getting Bitcoin around 30, the whole thing, if you take it all into consideration, I'm running a 7x average for the last year. Now, 7x average is 700%. Think about it like this. If you are in a savings account, you're probably in the 1% range, possibly 0.1% range. If you're into a fund of some kind that's really good, you may be looking at 5% or 10%. The best investments in America are going to get you 12 to 15% as a rule. So the fact that my investments in crypto are averaging 700% is just stunning. The fact that one of them was an actual 1,100% real life gain is stunning. You can stake crypto, and now some of the things I've done later in the year is staking, as well as getting involved in DeFi. And these are all different things you can get involved in. There's many layers. I have some involvement in the metaverse and NFTs, but I have mostly some work with DeFi and some investments that are involved in the world of crypto in more of a direct way. Now, having said all that, my latest moves involve DeFi, decentralized finance, lending and staking into those lending platforms. This is liquidity, providing liquidity. So I took money that I made from crypto and put it into liquidity pools and other forms of investments that get very high gains, where they're holding the money for a long period of time, and when they do that, it's used to do other investments, and it's sort of like being part of the bank instead of being a bank person with an account. Is sort of like being an owner of the bank. That is the latest things I have done, and we're seeing very large returns already. If they hold, in these concepts, then we may be looking at things like 10,000% gains on holding in stable areas. But here's something you need to think about. Even if you're ultra conservative, think about this. Your savings needs to at least be more than interest. I mean, the interest needs to be at least be more than inflation. If your interest on your savings is not more than inflation, then you're ostensibly technically losing money. So if I've learned one thing this year about finances and wealth, I've learned that you need to at least make more money than you're losing from inflation. Inflation was 8% in November. It's 9 or 10. Some people say inflation now is 20%, and it could be. I don't know what the new report's going to say, but it's bad. If you're not making 10% return, then you're losing money. Now here's the good news. There are secure sites that give you, for stable coins on secure sites, up to 10 or 20%. You can hold in a secure site in a stable coin way where nothing changes. You're not betting on the price of Bitcoin going up and down or Ethereum. You have a stable coin which is nailed to the dollar. It's always worth $1. So 1,000 of the stable coins equal $1,000, and it doesn't change. So you can take virtually no risk and get something between 10 and 20% back. I highly recommend that you take a look at that, do your own research. But if you're sitting there with a 0.1% or a 1% return on your money, you're losing money hand over fist right now. So I learned a lot about finance this year. I learned a lot about crypto. Learned a lot about all the different layers and sub-layers of all the crypto world. I would love to do videos going into 22 about anything you would like. So please send me information. The email is drchefscrypto@gmail.com. Send me emails. Get hold of me in any way you want. Leave comments below. And let me know what you want to learn or what you want to look into next. And we'll keep having fun. I'm going to do a lot of updates. Right now, to finalize this video, right now where we're at is we are analyzing a very big deal. And what this very big deal is the macro pattern. So far, since the halving in May of 20, the exact macro pattern of the previous two cycles has held. This means that there was an all-time high 18 months after the halving, etc. I have plenty of videos on this. It's supposed to be dropping right now and holding low. It's 38,000 today. Bitcoin is 38. Right now, as of, they say the end of January, going into February of 22, the macro pattern is holding. If we spend 22 analyzing and tracing the macro pattern, and if the macro pattern holds, then that means we know approximately when the next halving will be, and approximately when the next all-time high will be, approximately when the next all-time low will be between the two all-time highs. So what I mean to say is, right now we're on that macro pattern, and everybody keeps coming up with all this stuff about the Fed or the fact that we're in this W pattern that's going to go back up, and the macro pattern may well break at any point in time. But right now, as we sit here going into February of 22, the macro pattern is holding steady. That's very important. Highly recommend you go back and look at that. Look at my danger video, it's a short one about what happened to me. It's the details on when I got jacked. Protect yourself. Look at the security videos. But definitely take a look at the overall macro pattern and see where we're going. See if it breaks out, and if it doesn't, then we have a lot of information that could be very, very financially advantageous to a lot of people. So that's it for me. That's the 1-year anniversary summary. Running about a 7x for the year, running about that 700% return. Even on my worst investments, I'm probably in the 1.5 to 2x. So I'm over 100% on even the worst ones. And of course, when you get 10% on your best investments or 1% on your savings account, if 100% is considered kind of low for you, you're living the dream. And I am living the dream, and I am unbelievably grateful, right? Unbelievably grateful, and super happy to have this opportunity to share with you. Please look at these videos, learn what you can, ask me anything you want, and share with your friends. Thank you so much for all your time and patience, you guys. I really appreciate you guys a whole lot. And, when it comes to my life, this is just a lot of fun for me. So, thank you very much, and happy anniversary to Dr. Chef's Crypto. Happy anniversary to me. 1 year studying the crypto, and we appreciate you all. Thank you, and have a good night.